following is an unpaid preview for a game seeking funding on Kickstarter. The product seen here is a work in progress and is subject to change during the duration of the project. Hi and welcome to the preview of Battle of the Bands. Yes? Hi and welcome to the preview for Band Manager Backstage Showdown. I'm your host, Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker. Band Manager is a negotiation card game from Original Content London. It plays from 2 to 5 players in around 45 minutes and suggested for ages 14 and up. In Band Manager, you're a band manager trying to put together the best bands and competing with other band managers. By making the best bands, you earn fans. The first player to get 27 fans wins. Players begin with a few cards that are played on the board, which is actually a t-shirt. On a player's turn, they either draw a card, which is called Stay Home and Practice, or go on tour to become a tour manager and start assembling a band by playing cards. When on tour, a player is trying to fill in rows of cards. There are 4 levels and they need to be filled in rows starting with level 1 before moving on. Cards used can only be placed on spaces of the same color. Red hype cards on red, yellow chop cards on yellow, and so on. Starting on level 2, the spaces on the far right must be filled with fan cards. You can ask for help from other players to fill in spaces. If you do, they get part of the spoils and get a card back by placing one of their badges on their card in a column that has not already been occupied. This is an open-ended discussion, but the player who initiated of the tour gets the final say, even if it means kicking out somebody. When any number of rows are filled, the tour manager can move on to the next phase. Depending on the card placement, you either draw fan cards and career cards based on how the cards are placed on the board and the number on those cards. If you invited other players to join you on tour, you share the spoils. This is split starting with the tour manager and then starting with the players' badges on the left. Then all the cards on the board are discarded and the tour manager must discard down to 7 cards. Fan cards are kept in hand or they can score them in the pile in front of them. And players keep going until one player scores 27 points in fan cards who becomes the winner. I do have to say something first about the theme. As a musician and composer, I look for these kinds of games that fits the music theme. So how does Band Manager live up to it? Well, it's what it is, a game about managing tours, negotiating with other managers, and hope to get successful by getting fans. While it's not a game that deals with actual music, which is something I'm still looking for, it's rather on the business side of music. Band Manager does capture this well. I think the best thing about Band Manager is the negotiation. Now, it's completely possible to go on and start a tour without anyone joining you. However, completing rows of cards so you can score alone is hard. This is because rows that are higher, which gives more fans, needs more cards, and without more cards, it's harder to reach and therefore less points to score. I also find it interesting that the band manager who initiated the tour needs to discard at the end. This is so that one player can't simply go on his own and gather as many cards as he can. Going back to negotiations, it's almost ideal to team up with at least one other person. The flaw with this mechanism is, more or less, comes down to you're winning so I won't join you syndrome. Even while fan points are kept face down, it's easy to tell who is winning. But there is something else here that helps the game out a bit. Again, this is at that very specific point where the tour manager has to discard cards, but the other players don't. This means going on your own can give you a very small return unless you have plenty enough cards with you. So one can go right ahead for the lead, play a bunch of cards, but that could be a bad idea. The game reminds me of another negotiation style game called I'm the Boss. It has the same open-endedness, plus both of the games are very similar in structure. What Band Manager does better is its quickness and its simplicity. And by the way, I love the pixel art. Final thoughts. I'm going to give this a good rating. Simple negotiation games are few and this game does it well with its easy to learn gameplay that touches on a cool theme. Band Manager is right on pitch. If you're interested in this game, please take the time to visit Origin Content London's project page on Kickstarter to learn more about Band Manager and see if it's a game you'd like to support. And thanks for joining me on this preview. Please take the time to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, reminding you to keep on stacking games.